Hi everybody, it's Jim from County Corvette. I'm with you here today with a 1999 C5 convertible. This car has 22,585 original miles. Now, we have serviced this car. This car was bought locally here in Pennsylvania, a little town called Aston, and it's about 20 minutes away from here. We've serviced this car for many, many years, and it was well taken care of. Now, last year, I bought this car, and it did need, you had the original tires, and it is a 99, and you'll notice these are not original wheels. These are reproduction wheels. I had them in stock. I don't care for the 99 wheels. They're just not, they just don't have that, they don't look great, in my opinion. And it seems to be a popular opinion because most people like the 2000 and up wheels. So I had these wheels, and we put new Michelins on and did a couple other things, and really didn't need much. It was a legit 20. Well, let me back up here. So sold it. I bought it, then sold it last year, and then the owner put 800 miles on it. He's a New Jersey state trooper, and he just didn't drive the car. So it was sitting, and he asked me if I wanted to buy it back. And I did. I do that a lot. A lot of these cars can sit. I mean, here's a 22-year-old car with 22,000 miles. It's 1,000 miles a year. That's not a lot of driving. So as a result, the car really is held up beautifully. It is completely original paint, clean CarFax, you know, original interior. Everything's, you know, authentic on this car. It's just a nicely preserved, rarely used car, and what I can say is, you know, the condition is exceptional for really any of these C5s, let alone, you know, a 22-year-old car. The C5s are starting to develop some inherent problems, and I'm very careful with what I buy. Number one, the batteries. If you have a battery that has sat, and it'll start leaking acid. They're lead acid batteries. The wiring harness is directed right underneath of it, and I've had to replace those harnesses. I had a 2000 in here about maybe 2 months ago, and the customer, and he wanted to sell the car, and I was looking at the car from underneath, and I could see corrosion, battery acid corrosion on the frame rail, on the inside. And I showed the guys, I said, I know what I'm going to see here. I'm going to do a video on that because it's so important. There's a couple things with these cars that are inherent. You have the battery, and then you have the brake control. And what happens is you have all these cycles of dead batteries on these cars. It affects the electronics. You know, in a computer you have capacitors that energize it even when there's no battery power. And you know, like your desktop computer, it's got what's called a BIOS, a basic input-output system, and that's energized by a capacitor. Well, you know, once that capacitor is de-energized, it loses its memory. So these things have to learn over and over again. The C4s are notorious for it. So it's so important to keep a tender on these cars, and of course make sure, you know, your battery's not more than 4 years old, and check it for leakage, because if you don't, I try not to use profanity in these videos, but I don't know how else to say it. It's a shit show when they go bad. So I'm going to offer you some other advice too. I know I'm trying to sell a car here, but this dawned on me that people don't really understand that, only because, you know, I had that battery situation. I see them a lot. Then you have the fuel tanks. You have dual fuel tanks on these cars, one on this side, one on that side. It equalizes fuel from one side to another for balance. Well, you have dual tanks, and you have dual sending units and dual pumps and all that, so twice the potential for problems. These fuel pumps start to go bad over time. And what can prevent it is Tektron. It will actually lubricate the pump. So I'm going to do a video on that at some point this week. I have one of them apart right now. We're doing fuel pumps. And it's hard to get parts for them right now. We're using Cadillac parts in some instances. So it's important to know that when you're buying these cars. But I know these things. You know, as you know, I'm a mechanic by trade, and I will not buy a car, particularly a C5, unless I've checked these things. The fuel tanks are working, and there's no battery acid damage. So I do my due diligence for you. So if you don't buy a car from me, you better learn about those things. But you can watch my video, and you'll be better educated on it. But it's so critically important that those things are not an issue with these cars. So all that said, this car is a sweetheart because it's been so well maintained, and we did a lot of that maintenance. But you can tell a lot about the car just by a quick glance. You know, it's a tan interior. It's not completely worn out. There's no wear on it. The seats are in beautiful condition. No real wear on the bolsters. The top. When these tops are down, they seem to wear different. You get, you know, on a tan top, you'll get the wear marks and they get stained and all that. This top's in beautiful shape. These are great tops. They're insulated. I talk about road noise in these cars. So anyway, this car is really well optioned. It has the dual zone air. It is an automatic, and memory seats, sports seats, you know, the stuff that makes it, you know, a good driver. And as I did say, this has Michelin's on it, so it drives beautifully, and the car needs nothing. It is a car, you turn the key and go, and you know, it should be trouble-free for many more years. If you use Tektron and keep the batteries good, it'll last you even longer. Really, that's all it takes to maintain these cars. This is one of the best Corvettes ever made. One of the best cars ever made. It's a bulletproof LS1. The automatic transmissions in these things are bulletproof. They're just, I have customers with over 200,000 miles on these cars, and they keep going. Actually, the more you drive them, the more you use them, the less frequency of the battery dying out and that type of thing, causing electronic relearning issues. So, not much to say. It's got no paint work. It's a beautiful color combination. It's a car I would own. It does have telescopic steering column, and those are the options you want in one of these cars. So I'm going to take you for a ride, and it's a beautiful day in Pennsylvania. Exceptionally nice. It's been very hot here, and see what you think. Okay, we're up to good temperature here. I have my seat adjustments all good. Speaking of these seats, these are Lear seats, L-E-A-R, like Learjet. Same company, believe it or not. GM commissioned Lear to make really good seats, and you know what? I have driven a lot of cars in my life. Mercedes, BMW. Now listen, Mercedes and BMW have pretty damn good massage chairs, and I'm not going to BS you and tell you these chairs are better. But what I will say, for a non-massaging, type chair, I know there's a name for it, I can't think of it, but a non-massaging chair, these seats do have air bladders that you can blow up, and I'll tell you what, over a long trip, I drove a C5, actually my buddy Z06, went to go look at it. Oh, it was a 66 big block, 4 1/4 car, blue coupe out in Michigan. That had to be 15 years ago. The Z06 wasn't that old. I think it was like an 03 or 04. And this was probably 2006 or 7. We drove out to Michigan, and I drove that car all the way out. I believe it was about 9 hours of driving, and I felt great. Now, I don't have horrible back problems like a lot of people, but you know, I've done my share of sports and have a couple bulge discs. Did a lot of stupid stuff. Most of the stupid stuff I did was in weightlifting. The worst damage I ever did to my back was trying to do stupid weights and squats. But anyway, we'll talk about cars here. If you have back problems, these rear seats really are, they're damn good. And it makes this car that much more appealing. So, AC blows ice cold in here. So all the gauges work as they should, particularly the gas gauge. That's the way it should work. Yeah, but the Michelins on this car are glorious. I mean, there's no road noise. It feels so good. The stock Eagles, man, they get hard. And it's just not even pleasant to drive a car with those aged hard tires. So it's a must-have. Michelins are actually harder to get this year than last year. We've been using Continentals, which is a superb tire. I put another set on, another C5, and that's a great tire. No complaints there. But this has Michelins, and they're excellent, and you'll be happy with them. So for, you know, in the under $25,000 range, this is it, people. This is the car to buy. A clean C5, if you can find one under 25,000 miles. All right, here we go. All right, this thing runs as it should. And it, you know, with these tires, I'm doing, I don't want to say what I'm doing. I don't want to incriminate myself. Hopefully you didn't see that. But anyway, it was a little over the legal speed limit. Not a lot, but enough for me to show you that this car runs as it should. Not a hiccup. So buy it with confidence. It's a great color combination. It's a car you could jump in and drive anywhere and really be comfortable. So that's my sales pitch, everybody. Hope I didn't bore you with all my personal stories, but great car for the money. Give us a call. Hey, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. My videographer, these guys tell me all the time, Jim, you gotta push the YouTube channel. I'm pretty confident that if I give good content and all that, everybody will subscribe. I shouldn't have to ask you to subscribe, but please do. I have a lot of other cool videos. We're gonna do, hopefully today or tomorrow, we're gonna do a video on the tanks, because I have that apart. But anyway, please subscribe and keep watching. Look for new inventory. If you have an interest in this car, give us a call, shoot us an email. Be happy to talk to you about it. Reasonable offers, trades, let us know. You know, if you have an everyday driver that's in good shape that I can present, you know, I don't want your problems if you've got a car that's a piece of crap, you know, with a bad transmission. I don't want it. I'm not going to pass it off to anybody, and you know, it's worth what a car with a bad transmission's worth. Not much. So, but if you have a good trade and you're sick of it and you want something cooler, this is a good car. But anything like that, give us a holler and enjoy your day. Thanks for watching.